This is lesson 1-4, Order of Operations. The Kent City football team made one 6-point touchdown and 4 3-point field goals in its last game. Megan and Dexter each use an expression to find the total number of points the team scored. Question number 1. List the difference between their expressions. Well, Megan's has no grouping symbols, no parentheses. Dexter's does. He has the 6 and the 4 grouped together using parentheses. Whose calculations are correct? Well, that's kind of a trick question. They both followed the order of operations rules correctly, so both of their calculations are correct. But the correct answer to the question is, how many points did the team score? Megan's calculation would be correct. Question number 3 says, make a conjecture about what should be the first step in simplifying 6 plus 4 times 3. One conjecture might be that you multiply first, because if you add first, then you increase the size of one of your factors significantly, which could give you an inflated answer, as it does here with Dexter's answer. The expression 6 plus 4 times 3 is a numerical expression. To evaluate expressions, use the order of operations. These rules ensure that numerical expressions have only one value. The order of operations are: evaluate the expressions inside grouping symbols. Examples of grouping symbols, obviously parentheses. The most common, you will many times see brackets in place of parentheses. They mean exactly the same thing. Then step 2, evaluate all powers. That means if you have a number written in exponential form, 2 to the 3rd, for example, you would multiply that out and change that from exponential form to standard form and use the value of 8 in your calculation. Step 3, multiply or divide in order from left to right. Then step number 4, add or subtract in order from left to right. In example number 1, your first step is to do 12 minus 3 because it's in parentheses. Gives you the value of 9. Then your second calculation is 5 plus 9, which gives you the correct answer of 14. The grouping symbols force you there to do the subtraction first. In example number 2, you would do the multiplication first because there are no grouping symbols, there are no powers, so your first step here is multiplication, and you can see there 3 times 2 is 6, gives you this value right here. Then you would work from left to right, so 8 minus 6 is 2. And then add that to 7, and the value of that expression is 9. In example A, it says evaluate each expression, justify each step. Well, 39 divided by 9 plus 4. Your first step would be to do the addition because they're inside the grouping symbols. 39 divided by 13 then would be your second step, give you a value of 3 for that expression. 10 plus 8 divided by 2 minus 6. Again, no grouping symbols. Your first step here would be the division because you divide before you add or subtract. Gives you 4 for a value there. Now you're working left to right. 14 minus 6 gives that expression a value of 8. Example 3. In this example, we have a power, no grouping symbols, but we do the power first. So 3 squared happens first. You can see right there, 3 squared is 9. Then your next step would be the multiplication. 5 times 9 is 45. 45 minus 7 is 38. That would be the correct value for that expression. In example C, 3 times 10 to the 4th, you would evaluate your power here first. 10 to the 4th is 1 and 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 10,000. 3 times 10,000 would give you 30,000 as the value for that expression. In D, we have grouping symbols, parentheses, and a power. So our first step is 5 minus 1, which is 4. 4 to the 3rd. Divided by 4. 4 to the 3rd is 64. 64 divided by 4. The value of that expression would be 16. In addition to using the x and the raised dot multiplication can be indicated by using parentheses. For example, 2 in front of the 3 plus 5 within the parentheses means that you're going to add the 3 plus 5 and then multiply by 2. You've got an understood multiplication right here. It's actually a very efficient way of writing it. So in example number 4, the first thing you would do is work within the parentheses. 7 minus 2, which is 5, gives you 5 right here. Now your second step is to multiply this 3 times 5. So this, in effect, right here means 3 times 5 means the same as this, means the same as this. Actually simpler, easier, shorter. Then 15 plus 14 is 29. In example E, 20 minus 2 times 4 minus 1 times 3. So here they've used the parentheses to show multiplication and the raised dot. Our first step, obviously, 4 minus 1, which is 3. So we have this, 2 times 3, 20 minus 2 times 3 times 3 again. So then working left to right, we're going to do 20 minus 6 times 3. Then the multiplication happens here. 20 minus 18, all of that for a value of 2. In example F, 6 plus 8 divided by 2 plus 2 times, oops, made a mistake there, 2 times 3 minus 1. So our first step is to do the 3 minus 1, which is 2. This means 2 times 2. Rewrite the rest of the expression. Our next step, going left to right, would be to do the division. Our next step, left to right again, multiplication before addition, gives us 4 here. 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, 10 plus 4, 14. A lot of work. Example number 5. Julian orders crepe paper, balloons, and favors for the school dance. What is the total cost? Well, each roll of crepe paper costs $2. He's buying 3. You can see that expression there. Each balloon or box of balloons costs $5. He buys 4 boxes, 4 times 5. And then 2 rolls of, or 2 boxes of party favors, 2 times 7. So all of that translates to this expression right here. If we were to work that out, and I guess we should, we would do 6 plus 20 plus 14. You can see that's what they've done up here. Then we add left to right. 26 plus 14 gives us a value of 40. It says, what's the total cost of 12 rolls of crepe paper, 3 boxes of balloons, and 3 boxes of favors? Well, the crepe paper costs us $2 a box, so 12 times 2. The balloons cost us $5 a box, so we have 3 times 5. And then the party favors, we got 3 boxes of party favors. Those are $7 a piece. So we have 24 plus 15 plus 21 gives us 39 plus 21, which is 60. We'll do the odd numbers here instead of doing them all. There's kind of a lot of problems here, so let's start with number 1. 8 plus 5 minus 2 inside parentheses. The rules say do the parentheses first. 8 plus 3 is 11. Number 3, 14 minus 2 times 6 plus 9. Our first step here is the multiplication. 14 minus 12 plus 9. Working left to right, 2 plus 9. is 11. So two vastly different expressions there that interestingly give you the same value of 11. Number 5 is 4 times 10 squared. Remember, any expression or any number written in exponential form with an exponent of 2 can be read as squared. 10 squared is 100. So 4 times 100 is 400. Number 7, 17 plus 2 times 6 minus 3 minus 3 times 4. Step number 1, 6 minus 3 is 3. Gives us 2 times 3 there, minus 3 times 4. 17 plus 2 times 3 minus 3 times 4. Next step would be 2 times 3, which is 6, minus 3 times 4, which is 12. Working left to right, 23 minus 12 gives us another expression of 11. So 3 examples there, all with an answer of 11, or a value of 11. On number 9, Isabel has 3 nickels, 2 quarters, 2 dimes, 7 pennies. Write an expression to be used to find how much money Isabel has and then figure out how much she has. Well, nickels are 5 cents, so 3 times 5. Add that to dimes, or quarters, excuse me. Quarters are 25 cents. 2 dimes, which are 10 cents, obviously. And 7 pennies. We could do 7 times 1, or we could just leave it as 7. We'll do the 7 times 1. So we have 15 plus 50 plus 20 plus 7, 65 plus 20 plus 7, 85 plus 7. How much money does she have? A rousing 92 cents. These are the answers to all of those. You can see that we got all of them right if you go back and check them. You could go get back and do the even ones. That would be good practice for you. Here are your 2 vocabulary terms, numerical expression, and order of operations. Again, you're responsible for knowing all of those. You will be evaluated on those at some point during the chapter. So memorize them. At this point, you should stop the video, go back to the Scott Highlands homepage, go to the Moodle login link, type in your username, which is your 7-digit or 6-digit student number, and then your password, which is the first 6 digits of your last name, and your 2-digit birthday. Good luck.